think I got my...
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues for another live in studio Thursday night. January 23rd this year is just flying by. Hey, we're almost into February.
Yeah, people are having babies.
Oh, baby talk.
Baby talk.
Congrats. Landon didn't even offer the congratulations, so I will, on behalf of everyone here at More Important Issues and Fan Run Radio. Sorry for everybody at Fan Run for speaking for you as well, but congratulations to Kim Caldwell and her family.
Justin.
It's very exciting.
I learned that was his name today. Didn't know.
I knew it.
Did you?
But this is the mother's time.
Okay.
Yeah. She just went through labor, Landon. Let her have her moment.
She's killing it. Let's go to a basketball game tonight, and then let's beat South Carolina.
I mean, that's the plan.
Okay.
There was
the kid has to come. Like, you have to win tonight. Like, this became a must win.
Yeah.
For what was the son's name?
Oh gosh, why did we do this? We don't know anything about this situation other than she had a baby.
Yeah.
Connor Scott Caldwell.
That's
okay.
a great name.
Connor Scott Caldwell.
I love when which Caldwell is just kind of an easy last name to make things sound well.
Yeah.
But I love when people name their kid like a good first, middle, and last where it all runs together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of getting names right, and I think they nailed it.
I like it. Sounds like a Tennessee commit to me.
Basketball,
whatever, something.
The tennis maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Be like that Oklahoma guy.
Yeah, it just looks like a defensive lineman playing tennis. Sure, yeah.
That'd be sick if he was a defensive lineman.
Played tennis.
And played tennis.
Oh yeah, Travis Hunter. You think you're cool because you played both sides of the ball? No, tennis and defensive line. That is.
Is there a chance that guy was a multi-sport athlete? For those that don't know what we're talking about, Oklahoma Tennis posted a photo of an NFL-looking
large man
defensive lineman playing tennis.
Yeah. First guy off the bus. Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the episode. Looking forward to be back in the studio.
Love being back.
Joey's
here.
Good to see you.
Good to see Joey.
Always.
Thank you.
How's I know we were all pretty.
Joey's back in school.
Yeah,
barely, but yeah.
Are you on track to graduate, or is this a sore subject?
We're on track.
Okay.
I mean,
what's the schedule looking like? We going
Monday, Wednesday only.
Okay, that's a good senior spring.
Okay.
Yeah, working Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, baby. Grinding it out 5 days a week. And I work Saturdays too.
And you do this job?
Are we invited to your graduation?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm coming.
I'll be there.
Trying to get like a whole section, like maybe 200-300 people. Just I don't want them to know me. I just want
200-300 people.
Yeah.
God, are you getting married?
Yeah, I'll kill two birds with one stone.
Do we bring a gift? Flowers.
Yeah, flowers is fine. I'm sure. You know,
I'll bring your
guys.
mom
Don't give a lot of
flowers.
flowers. There you go.
Yeah.
She'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'll bring both of you flowers.
There you go. Guys deserve flowers too.
I agree. I like flowers. How's your week been, Landon?
Cold.
You haven't stayed warm?
It's been hard. It's been hard to stay warm.
What's your house set on right now?
Cold. It's pretty cold.
Y'all aren't
in my house.
Running the heat?
If it was up to me, I would, but it's not up to me. So
You dripping faucets in, or like what?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We drip faucets, open up the cabinets below. Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
How's the pool looking?
Frozen, probably.
You think I could skate on it? I gotta get back into it.
Maybe. My
I
car
bet
my
I
car didn't
could've.
start on on Tuesday, so that was fun.
Like just because of the cold, bad battery. What are we talking here?
Yeah, it wouldn't start. And my
Give me the noise it made. Oh, battery.
yeah, that's what I thought it was, but then it finally turned over.
Oh,
So
been fine since.
I'd given up. I went ahead and plugged in at home, and I was just going to work from there. And my wife tried it one more time before she left, and it worked. So went to work
Were you late?
a little bit. That's okay. I stayed late, so
Do you-
Okay.
I made it up.
Want to tell people what you wore to work?
What I wore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you own up to that bet? Because you still owe me a bald head.
So I lost a bet, and I had to buy a Ohio State polo. Not proud of it, but did
Where
it
did
because
you-
I'm a man of my word.
Buy it at.
Amazon.
You had to buy it too.
Came pretty fast.
It was pretty fast. Yeah. Well, I was.
Wait, what did you wear? It was Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, after they won it.
So you already had it ready?
Yeah. So the bet was like Tennessee, Ohio State,
Oh, okay.
and it was going to take a while to get here. So I kind of put it off, and he was like, "Dude, if they win the Natty, like you have to wear it on Tuesday." After, so I
would
was.
have after they won a national championship. I would have told him to get wrecked. Like,
Yeah, well, that's
I'm
what
not-
I
I'm not
wanted to say. I
owning
was
this
like,
bet.
dude,
You could have.
like,
You made the decision. to wear
nothing
it.
bad ever happens to you.
Right. You made the decision to wear it.
Yeah.
You're also 4 layers back from being a Vols fan. You looked like a Notre Dame fan or Michigan fan or Oregon fan. Like you really, I mean, you really covered up the Vols there.
I did have the lanyard on, Tennessee lanyard all
Okay.
the time.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
with the badge. So
I'm upset that you lived up to this coworker's bet, and
dude, I can't shave my head.
If it's-
you made the bet.
If
I don't
it-
even remember what the bet was.
It was
I'm gonna
if
say, if it's
Tennessee
radio appropriate,
finished-
I wanna know.
I can't remember what year. There
like
was a year.
fourth in the SEC or something like that.
No, seventh or sixth in the East. I think is what it was.
It was at 2020.
I think it was 20.
It had to be 2020
No, I think it was 20.
or 2021.
It might have been Pruitt's first year. Because I said,
dang, that was a long time ago.
I said if Tennessee won the East, I would shave my head. Turns out I had to anyways. A few years later, that's probably your fault for jinxing it. And you said if Tennessee finishes sixth, so not seventh in the East because Vanderbilt still existed in the East at the time and still does. So you said sixth, and they finished sixth.
Yeah. I just love the reaction I got on Twitter for everybody saying like how disgusting it was.
It was
Because
disgusting.
It was. It was.
They don't
But-
even know that you didn't live up to your radio partner and best friend's bet. They don't even know that part of the story. That makes it more disgusting.
Yeah, Amazon purchase and then shaving my head.
I'm going to
a lot
write
different.
an anonymous letter to Amazon and let them know that this is a fraudulent return. You paid for it. It was the product you bought. It fit. I'll show them the picture of you wearing it. It fit. And you have no reason to return that.
Did you try to return it?
He's probably got the
Take it
UPS
to
label
Kohl's.
ready.
Take it to Coles. Or, I mean, you can save it. If we beat them next couple of years, you can just, like, burning that jersey would feel so much better.
He asked me what I was gonna do with it. I was like, I'm probably gonna like chop it up and just not buy toilet paper for a little bit.
How much are you getting out of a jersey?
Well, I have wet wipes too, so it's just
Yeah, you disgust me.
yeah.
Not even for the toilet paper comment. That's you just disgust me as a person.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
How much
I'd
was
forgotten about that, Joey. Thank you for bringing that up.
It was like $30-something.
It's pretty cheap for a
Yeah,
national
you would
championship team.
You would never get a Tennessee polo that cheap.
No,
Oh.
ain't no.
I could go get one at Walmart that had that Smoky logo on there for
Oh.
sure.
Yeah, true.
For sure. For sure.
And it would be $30.
At least.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah. Well, stick with us, guys. I don't know. I'm not staying mad at Landon for longer than the entirety of the show because like I said, I'd forgotten about that. Water under the bridge until Joey brought it up. Dam broke. Water is now over the bridge. The bridge is gone.
Joey, this is all your fault.
Thank you, Joey.
I didn't make the bet. I don't know why you're yelling at me.
Thank you. Guys, stick with us. We are going to talk Tennessee's dominant win over Mississippi State Tuesday night. I didn't go in with high hopes. I left feeling fine. Cold. It was cold.
You're back.
I'm always back. I'm in a perpetual state of back. Okay. We'll talk about that. Tennessee takes on Auburn on Saturday. Of course, we'll discuss that. Recruiting and transfer portal news. Another athlete leaves Tennessee in the middle of the season, only to go to Baylor. We'll discuss that a little bit. And then, of course, well, we always got football. Don't worry. Stick with us on the other side of the break. It's more important issues on Fan Run Radio.
Welcome back into More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. More Important Issues is brought to you by Hovey Dry Goods. Guys, go check out hoveydrygoods.com. Get those hats. Joey's got one on. Caleb's got one on, representing our good friends over there. Use promo code MORE for 15% off your first purchase. Again, that's promo code MORE, M-O-R-E, at hoveydrygoods.com. Love them. They got some hats coming in here soon, so keep an eye out for that. So go check them out.
I like that you suspended that E in M-O-R-E. Really make it sound like you couldn't remember how to spell more. Kept us on the edge of our seat. I really appreciate that, Landon.
I was like,
that's an E. There's an E in there somewhere.
Yeah,
for sure.
Somewhere. Yeah.
How about Tuesday night?
Tuesday night was fun. It was.
You know what wasn't fun?
What?
The traffic at G10.
Is that where you park in G10?
Someone gave me a pass Tuesday night, and
I've seen.
Came in from James White Parkway, thinking it would be better than Neyland. It was better than Neyland. I didn't get in until I think when I was getting to my seat, they were going into the 4-minute time, the under 16 timeout.
Okay. Yeah.
It was brutal. Fix it. Fix it. But beyond that, everything else about the game was a blast.
Yeah, was this like, we won by 12 points. It felt like we won by 30.
And we really, we came out slow to start the second half. And then, of course, when you shoot 12 threes, like some have to go in, right, at some point. But, there were times where Josh Hubbard looked like he was chucking shots up. And they should fall for him.
Yeah.
But
Well, Riley Kugel, another one, was just kind of throwing it up and hoping something went in.
yeah. I mean, that's what Josh Hubbard did well a few times, did well last year is his trigger is fast.
Yeah.
And Tennessee played really good off the ball defense on him. In fact, I made the comment, I think it would be a fun game to take a good high school basketball player and tell them that Zakai is going to guard you off ball. You can go anywhere on the court. There's no offense to it. Your only job is to just get open. And I think it would be very difficult, if not impossible. And that's like with Zakai, like there's no set offense. He's not going to be able to really guess where you're going. And he smothers people off the ball.
Yeah, I mean, smothering is exactly what Tennessee did in that first half. 16 points. I mean, they could have just left after half. There was no way.
The vibe, and I'm impressed with how they came out in the second half, because the vibe of that Mississippi State team as they waddled out of halftime is the word I'll use. And Joey was closer to the court, so he may have a similar or differing opinion. I'd like to hear his take. They just did not look like they wanted to be there. Which, I mean, listen, it was like 8 degrees. And you're getting beat that bad. They probably didn't want to be there.
Yeah, looks kind of lethargic, I would say is a good word to.
What end of the court were you on that night? Was it
Home side?
Okay. So you probably didn't really watch their warm-ups for the second half.
Yeah, I mean
Mississippi State's.
Yeah, I was watching, but it wasn't really a lot of nothing worth watching.
Yeah, they
really.
didn't look uninspiring, lethargic for sure.
Well, it's like when Tennessee would make a three, like they would immediately have to go down there and try to make a three themselves. Like they didn't help themselves out at all.
And Tennessee did a really good job of slowing down the game. I mean that full court press, even when they're not really pressing, they're still making the ball handler, the point guard, whoever it is at that point, they're making them bring it 90 feet.
Yeah.
Like you don't have any time to breathe. You don't have any time to really just open up and run when Tennessee's defense is playing that good. And that, like when they score points too, they're able to slow it down off the inbounds a lot easier. And they were able to do that Tuesday night. And they did that for 40 minutes, which I would have to imagine is exhausting, especially when you're losing the way they were losing for the majority of the game.
Yeah. I mean, I just have – you needed a game like this to kind of like –
reset.
Just kind of wrench yourself off of what happened at Vanderbilt. And a Mississippi State team who had Tennessee's number last year. Like that was a team that was hard to beat. And you returned Josh Hubbard and, they wanted to kind of – I thought they'd be a team that'd be more physical. It kind of shocked me they weren't as physical, but like obviously they don't have Tulu Smith anymore, so that definitely hurts. But
well, and I think the Tennessee's bigs did a really good job of being physical up front. Like they didn't wait to get hit. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like I wasn't in there for the tip off, but from what I saw, like it was really physical down low from the jump for Tennessee.
And it was a one and done thing. Like there was, the second half I think was a little bit of just kind of like, hey, like this is over. They can start chunking stuff up, and they were hitting a lot more in the second half. But in the first half, I noticed a lot of just they'd hit a shot, Tennessee would get the rebound, go down and score. They would chunk up a shot, Tennessee would get the rebound, Tennessee would go down and score. Like it just felt like a never-ending cycle for Mississippi State.
The score's a little deceiving. Tennessee only scores 68 points. If that's a game where Mississippi State settled for shots more often, and they're not. I mean, they were going deep into the shot clock. What felt like most of the night. Mm-hmm. Tennessee wasn't given a lot of good stuff, and they were trying to get those good and open looks, and weren't able to. I think Tennessee shoots 35% from three, 41% from the field. Like that to me usually says you're going to score more points. But in a night where Tennessee was able to slow that game down, make them bring up the court, and then Mississippi State can't find great looks, like that just kind of spelled, because they weren't, like you said, they felt like every time they missed, Tennessee made, and like it was just a hole that kept getting dug, and Tennessee was very happy to throw the dirt right on top of them.
Yeah, and looking at last year, that was so surprising. Like Tennessee found a way to lose that game at Vanderbilt, scoring 75 points. Usually when Tennessee scores 75 points,
It's in the bag.
Yeah, it's over. And that's kind of how this. I know they didn't get to exactly 70 points, but this is a 12-point win, and it was never really close throughout the entire game.
No, I mean, it got closer there in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Tennessee did a lot of things well. They also got a ton from Jordan Gainey. I know you look at that.
God, I love that elbow shot.
I need that more often.
It's so,
especially
it's so
coming
fun.
off the screen.
Yeah.
Also, I want to see it. We see it sometimes, but I especially when he hits those shots, they start flying to him or Lanier, whoever is doing it at that point. I really want to see Igor, especially Okpara,
Just roll.
slide down low,
Yeah.
skip the Gainey or skip the Lanier pass. You want an oop? That's an oop, baby.
Mm-hmm. That's another guy. Agpara, he's
a monster. He's also shooting the ball really well from the free throw line right now.
Yeah, I think that's. I was not familiar with your game,
Yeah.
Agpara, from the free throw line, and one of the best 3-point shooters in Tennessee history.
Is he 100%?
He's 100%.
College basketball history. Really.
Yeah, college basketball, 100%.
You can't get better than.
Now, if he shoots another one and misses, I'm going to be sad. I don't think you can.
If he gets put in that position, he has to intentionally put his foot on the line.
Yeah, or
Ooh.
it's one of those things.
So if
where
it misses at the 2, it's no big deal.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, if you got strapped, shoot it.
I've seen it before in the NBA where like one of the teammates like doesn't want to get the turnover and he throws it to the other teammate real quick.
Yeah.
I think that's what he does.
Yeah. Which is an awesome thing to worry about.
Yeah.
Awesome thing to worry about.
Yeah.
We did get a little bit of the. Oh, wait, before I go into that. How about Chick-fil-A? Not laying out the guidelines for the 2 free throws missed. There were 2 in a row missed. Not in the same sequence. Is that in the. I would like to see the rules of the game.
2 things about this.
Okay.
So, yeah, sorry, I'm deeply indebted to Chick-fil-A for this. Well, they did say that it's got to be 2 free throws. It's after 12 minutes in the second half. Or something
Yes.
like that? 2 free throws consecutively in the same trip to the line.
Where do they say that?
She said it on the court,
Oh, well.
but no one's. I mean, come on.
After 12 minutes, why? Why can't it be the entire game?
I think it's, get the crowd into it.
I think it is. Also, I hate to spoil you. You get the Nuggets no matter what.
Oh, Joey.
I know. We can't tell people this, but they're
They're in my cart.
I used them last night.
They're dinner tomorrow
I had
night.
free Nuggets last night. I've got like 2 Nuggets, a biscuit saved up. I mean,
They expire like after a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I know. Just from going to the last.
the baseball
2
does
games.
the same thing.
Yeah,
but it's like 2 days.
Yeah, you really are tight margins.
I did
on,
say 2 days, but you said saved up, so I was like, maybe it's longer than 2
It's a
days.
week, I'm pretty sure, because I had a week from
Let's just
last
pull up
Tuesday.
mine.
Because I had to go get a Sammy like next day.
Right. My rewards from last week.
So you get nugs?
Yeah, you get 8 count nugs no matter what. They want you to obviously get hype for the Chick-fil-A.
Mine expires through the 28th.
Right.
Oh wow!
Which
So
is
a little
maybe they
over a
up.
week.
So the
Maybe they
Kentucky-
upped the. Hopefully they do the same thing with baseball. I'd like a week.
I just feel like I would be selling my fellow.
It is hard
fans
because there
short
are there's a lot of baseball games like in a week
Right.
potentially. So there could be, but like you get four sandwiches a week. It's a lot of protein.
I
No
just-
bun.
I mean, I'm happy that you get it.
I just want to
Again, it must just be because Chick-fil-A like has it set to just give it on Tuesdays, and
I think there's something with you being in that range, and it's probably one of those things that
Oh, yeah,
sometimes
'cause
it takes so long to update. Like if that happened in the final minute of the game, then you'd probably have some people in an uproar like, I waited
I
around
left
30
and
minutes
then-
after. So it's probably just a daily, like you said, on Tuesdays.
yeah,
Yeah, probably.
which is I mean,
And I wonder how many people actually cash it in.
I do. I tell everyone around me. I'm like, because everyone's rooting for it. I'm like, I want you to cheer loudly. Please keep cheering for these. I love when Chick-fil-A starts getting chanted at the free throw shooter.
Oh yeah,
But open the app now, so you'll be happy.
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't. Again, I like the atmosphere, but I feel like I would be selling everybody short if I didn't.
Right, I'm
speak
with
the
you.
truth.
I'm
I
with
want
you.
to. I want to yell it to the rooftops. It's like you do to your friends. I mean, and
Yeah.
everyone that listens.
You
to
do
this is my
have to
friend.
have your like location on.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is
yeah.
a
It has to recognize.
Yeah, you have
it.
to have Uncle Sam tracking you all the way to Food City Center.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope my FBI agent is enjoying the show right now. He's listening
I
through
feel
my
like
phone. but-
After Tennessee baseball won a national championship, we need a 12 count nugget for 2 home runs.
They might be dialing that back at the rate Tennessee hits home runs. Like, they're probably
Losing money?
they got to be losing money.
No shot Chick-fil-A lost money. They'll never do any kind of promotion where they lose money.
Here's the thing. For someone like me, and I love Chick-fil-A, that promotion does work on me because I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A in the next few days, and I'm going to get a meal. Like, I'm not just going to get that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does work for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
they get money regardless, for sure.
It work. Whoever's on that marketing team, just hear me out. It's working. Let's be more clear about the rules because no one around me knew the rules either. We just thought it was 2 consecutive free throws.
Yeah. Well, and it's obviously confusing because I remember last semester at the end, I don't know if this has always been a thing, but at least it has, at least last semester, because I was aware of the rules, and then I was like, oh, someone must have missed their last one, and then their next trip missed the first one, so that's 2 in a row. But I guess it's just, I think they make up the rules. I'm assuming
I think
it's just missed 2 free throws. That's what they want the crowd to be after. They want, any opportunity at the line, they want you to be chanting Chick-fil-A.
There are going to be a lot of fans who love this next statement.
Please.
In these trying times, we need a foul machine. Mississippi State never gotten the double bonus. We need a bruiser that comes in late and wins. I don't want close games where we got a foul. In wins where we get the opposing team in the double bonus so they get many opportunities to get the fans Chick-fil-A. Do you know who that bruiser I think would be perfect for this job?
Cade Phillips.
We have Cade Phillips. Thank you, Joey.
Oh, I thought you meant like
Bring
currently
him
on the
back.
team.
No, I'm saying like there's people that want him back. I think I have the perfect job for him. Get the fans nuggies.
Wonder what he's doing.
Right now, right this second?
Or just, I guess. In general.
We can probably find out.
See, like overseas?
In the
maybe?
current moment, I don't know if we can find out.
Well, just get like
because we would definitely
DM him on
he was,
Instagram right now.
If he was like coaching.
He's
just
a
say
keyboard
sup.
warrior, so I'm sure he's up.
Just DM him, Joey. You can do it from your account or ours. I don't care, but just say sup.
Because they're definitely like, if he was being like a student coach or whatever, he would definitely got a technical by now. So
He actually, so they played.
Are you comparing him to Stephen Pearl?
maybe
the Besiktas. So, that's some country.
What'd you call me?
Right? They played Treffel Sapat yesterday, and Urosh had 12 points, 3 assists, and 7 rebounds.
Oh my gosh, good for him.
Yeah.
Career highs. That was mean. Sorry.
It could be. I don't know if it's mean. I'm happy for him. Ball out, young buck.
Zakai Ziegler.
Oh, I was gonna say that. We got the foreword for Rick Barnes' love letter to Zakai Ziegler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been on this way for a while. Me and my buddy are and I'll give him most of the credit, but we do think we've been saying it's Barnes' last season from the beginning, and I think Zakai's the only reason you can't leave Zakai like that.
And he straight up said it. And
He did. He literally said today, and I
confirms
was
it.
like, I didn't think I would ever get this direct of an answer, just at least until the season ended. He was like, I'm gone, and I would still have to guess coincidence. I think not, but I mean, look, Rick said it.
And I get it. And,
I get it. You can't leave Zakai like that.
I'm not comparing Zakai to just any old like good hard team because I think he's very, very special. But like anybody that's coached, you know how just awesome it is to have a guy like Zakai who's just extremely coachable, does what you want him to do, has an insane work ethic, the confidence to go with it. Like they are fun players to coach, and I know from a fan standpoint, he's been super, super special to watch. So I can't imagine what it's like from a coach's perspective.
Well, yeah, and like you kind of hear how like competitive Rick Barnes is, and just having a guy on your team that's like just kind of the same way, just as competitive,
and in like a really positive way. Because that's one thing about being competitive is you can be competitive in a bad way, and he like that dude's never pouted, like he's just got knocked down, got back up, like he fights back, fights hard.
Yeah. Love it. That's going to be. I don't want to think about it. We're not going to mention.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry on that senior night.
Yeah.
And again, I want to reiterate the point because it's been when I say it to people, they act like it's a hot take. Zakai Ziegler is my favorite Tennessee player of all time. Not basketball, Tennessee. Period.
That's a lot. I mean, But I don't disagree whatsoever. I will not take that as a bad take. It's just it's a bold
Is
take.
he on the Mount Rushmore of Tennessee basketball?
Oh,
Yes.
he's got to be.
Yes.
I think he has to.
Who else would it be?
Another number 5, Chris
Chris
Lofton.
Lofton.
Okay.
Wayne Chisholm. Don't even.
Wayne
Well,
Chisholm.
Sorry.
That I
Top four?
from a
Yep.
guy that was like young and Wayne Chisholm was one of my all times. I mean, you also have guys like Bernard King to factor in.
Arnie Grunfeld.
What about
Ernie,
21st century
Allen Houston,
Mount Rushmore?
Grant.
21st century.
Chris Lofton.
I mean, it's got to be Lofton.
Tyler Smith.
I think it's got to be Lofton, Admiral, Zakai.
I put Grant over.
You can't. I would say you can't put Admiral
And
and
Lofton.
Grant out. But I wouldn't put both of them. It's got to be
Lofton.
Lofton, Zakai, Grant, and Scotty Hobson. Why not? Why not?
Scotty Hobson.
Bobby Mays.
Oh my god.
I mean, I love. That's just I don't want to be too guard heavy in this, but I love C.J. Watson.
Dane.
That's not going to be a popular take.
We can come back to this next. We should have a
Josh Richardson. Could he be up there?
He's probably he was on some unfortunate. He was in an unfortunate time period, but he's probably in that realm for some people. Let's revisit this on Sunday. Let's actually think about it.
Yeah, let's have a list. We'll get the
Well,
graphics
I think
and
there's
everything.
also like a favorites and talent there's a difference. Because like
Agreed.
Tobias Harris is probably on there talent
I was
wise.
gonna say Tobias, but I think when you're doing Mount Rushmore though,
Those
it does
four-
have to be hard for a guy that was here for 1 year.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, the presidents up there aren't a hot take. Maybe I don't know. They're the 4 best presidents. I think it's just more like the 4 most like presidential presidents. You know,
Why do you not like Abraham Lincoln?
love Abraham Lincoln. Don't spin my words. Abe is definitely one of them. And George Washington's up there, right? Or is that? I was literally there. August. I should know.
Theodore, Teddy.
Teddy.
Who's the?
Maybe
It's
it
a
was the
random
4
fourth.
best
Why
ones.
can I not think of it? It's I say random. I don't mean there's only.
Andrew Jackson.
No, not him.
Is it? It's not Jefferson. Is it?
Is it
Jefferson?
Grant?
Are you looking it up? It
No,
looked like you
it's
were
not
typing
Jefferson.
something.
I was
random.
trying to look it
It's
up,
not
but like
Jefferson.
it just has the.
I want to see if I can tell who it is just by looking at Mount Rushmore
I could.
on the face.
I mean, I could just do the 3. I don't know that one.
Abraham. Oh, it is Andrew. Oh, Thomas Jefferson. Who's that dude? Second left. Is that Tommy?
Yeah, it is.
It is okay.
Okay, so maybe it is the 4 best presidents. But I mean, you know,
I feel like Thomas Jefferson's lost his luster the last few years.
is he on the 20?
No, that's Jackson. He's on the 5.
5. Okay. Put him on a Bitcoin.
I know who's on the 100.
I ain't seen him in a while, but I know who's on there.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I got a $100 bill.
Really?
When was the last time you got a $1 bill?
A $1 bill?
That was a stripper
Caleb's
joke.
not even-
Oh.
Caleb thinks we're smoking.
That's 2 for 2 stripper talk on this show. Or did we do it on Sunday, or was it back this last Thursday?
Don't recall the first one.
I feel like we briefly talked about
It's not even after dark.
Daisy Dukes and
Oh, that was last Thursday.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
something about the studio just screams
Just gets
gentleman's
it out
club.
of us. Yeah.
Mouse is here.
That
All right,
basketball
I wanna-
game was fun.
I want to revisit. I want to revisit this, but I do know we need to go to break. So stick with us. I want to revisit the basketball, not anything else. Well, maybe some other things. Not the. Stick with us on the other side of the break. It's more important issues on Fan Run Radio. Welcome back into the White Claw Hard Seltzer Studios here at Fan Run Radio. It's More Important Issues on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday night. We're recapping Tennessee's win over Mississippi State. We want to put a bow on it. Welcome to our tangents of shows. All the way from Zakai Ziegler to the President of the United States on a big old rock somewhere in the Dakotas.
Killing it.
How do you think other players, do you think they take it the wrong way? I mean, I feel like he's so well loved by his players or his teammates. All the players probably when Rick said it, they're probably I get it.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't be here either.
Yeah, I was about to say they're probably thinking the same thing.
Is he holding this whole university together at this point? Tony Vitello, shows up to Tennessee basketball games seemingly to just watch Zakai.
Yeah. Wearing his jersey.
He probably goes to LSU if he's.
Yeah, he's probably going to.
In here. He probably goes to A. He was rumored to go to A&M, and they said that they handed Vitello a blank check. He just wrote on it Zakai Ziegler. He's like, if you can't get that guy, I'm not there.
Not the university. I was going to leave Knoxville, and I decided to buy another house.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough when that number 5 leaves, and I gotta think they'll be spotting the rafters for a second number 5.
Got to.
Can you retire a number twice?
Well, it's
it's just re-retired, I guess.
But didn't they retire? They retired
Yeah,
the actual
and
number 5.
Zakai was the last one to wear it, I think, right?
Yeah, but they're retiring it for Chris Loft. Can you retire his jersey?
But you got to hang another number 5. So it'll be 2 number 5s. Is that okay?
Yes. You got to find a way.
I think they should have.
They dug this hole. They should have done as soon as Chris Lofton left. They should have done it.
Yes, this is my take on Zakai Ziegler. This is how much I am a fan of Zakai Ziegler. That second number 5 should go in the rafters on his senior night.
Yeah,
confident.
I agree with
I like it. Yeah.
Well, and what's his winning percentage has to be insane.
I want to see his plus minus as a Tennessee player.
Yeah.
It's got to be insane.
Well, his steals per game this year, I think he has 2 steals a game.
He was wreaking havoc on Mississippi
State. He has
11
steals in the last couple games.
At what point are you just hey, pass the ball away from Zakai?
Yeah.
I don't want the ball anywhere near that guy.
Yeah, 5 steals, 7 assists. Forget rebounds. The guy gets more steals than rebounds, which I guess makes sense. He's a little small guy, but he does rebound a lot.
He has
pretty good for his size.
Yeah. No, he's that's okay because he does really good on the second bounce. Not that he doesn't just go up and get rebounds often, but he does really good on the second bounce, and then tipping it out has become so popular. And I get there are times to tip out rebounds when you're a player that can't grab it, but I'm sick of seeing guys that could very obviously grab the basketball, full palm tip it out. I'm like,
especially when it goes to the other team, you're like, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know where that rebound gets credited, but we need to make it a point to say you do not get credit for that rebound if you tip it out.
Yeah, it's whoever gets it after that, right?
It should be. I hope it is.
Just like a catch in football. If it's a tip pass, whoever tipped it doesn't.
Better yet, start counting tips as turnovers or assists. You can have a new category, assisted rebounds.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
I also want to see our rate for box outs, but I will say this: Tuesday night, buddy, we put hips and asses on people. I loved it.
Body on a body.
They were here all night, body on body. I was fired up in 315A.
I'm fired up now.
Igor.
You think you can box out Joey?
Oh,
hell no.
If I put my ass on you, you can't legally get around me.
Back to stripper talk. You did see you see Igor get chewed out by Barnes? Was that on TV? Could you see that at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he got grabbed.
I did. I missed this. Of course, I'm as far away from Rick Barnes as you
you're
possibly get.
You're boxing people.
No, because Igor, I couldn't even really see what was unfolding, but Igor kind of was on top of the guy or whatever. And Rick got right in there and just 2 hands on the jersey and yanked him up like a puppy.
Oh, hey, we missed
and
that.
You can kind of tell he chewed him out for a good 30 seconds, and then for the rest of the game, I think Igor came back in, had right under the net with a second and a half on the shot clock and passed it out, and we got a shot clock, and Barnes was like, yeah, you're done for the half.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit the other night. Also only played 25 minutes.
But hey, he boxed out.
He did. He had 7 rebounds.
And it's
so
becoming a
not bad.
foreign term. I'm yelling box out. People around me are like, does this guy know he's at a basketball game? Like, fans don't even know what box out is anymore.
Well, it's
How
crazy.
foreign it is.
Like, Rick Barnes, will go, somebody will get taken out, and you're like, oh, man, he turned the ball over. But then he comes back and he's like, yeah, he didn't shoot the ball. It wasn't a turnover. So, you think you know exactly what Rick Barnes benched somebody, and it's probably something, it probably wasn't even that. It was probably he, passed up a 3-point shot that he should have taken. Something like that. That seems to piss Rick Barnes off a lot more than a turnover.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
A guy I want to comment that played very, very well, Jamal Meshack.
Dude, that's what you need.
And I'm not advocating for Jamal to bring the ball up the court when Zakai's out of the game, but when we're in our half-court sets, I don't know how many assists he ended up with. He also got just shafted by poor shooting from his teammates.
Who?
Jamal Meshack.
He had 3 assists.
He found the guy open often when he was the one facilitating the offense. He played really well.
Yeah.
On the offensive end, I know the points 10, that's good. That's great for him. So that reflects it a little bit how well he played offensively. But his ability to facilitate the offense, especially, even when Zakai was in the game, he was a big part of facilitating the offense. But when Zakai was out, which was not very often the other night, but when he was out and it was pretty much him and Gainey, he did a really good job.
Yeah, I liked his game. I think that's where he should be offensively. I think that's what – when Mississippi State saw Jamal make that first 3, that's when I thought they're like, okay, it's there. We had no shot now.
They're yelling at their bus driver, warm it up.
Yeah, they were done. But yeah, that he's going to be an X factor for Tennessee come March, for sure.
Yeah. We need him playing really good offensive basketball in March, but yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't 10 points. I think that's probably more than enough. I think around
he's the
7, 8.
He's the Josiah of Josiah and Vescovia last year. If he scores 8 points, you feel really good about your chances of winning.
Yeah. He kind of I like that comparison. I kind of think a mix of Pons and Josiah.
Yeah, he's definitely a
defensive kind of specialist.
I would even say as good as Pons was defensively, he was just a more freak athlete than Josiah. Josiah was probably the better defender because he could guard 1 through 5 really, really well. He was very physical in the low post when he had to be. Pons could get moved around a little bit easier.
Yeah, and he was just going to come out of nowhere.
But he was definitely more of the athlete. He had better shot blocking ability than Josiah. But yeah, no, Jamal's more athletic than Josiah, or at least plays more athletically. So I definitely think there's a mix for sure. But yeah, I think he's got it. He's obviously a huge asset to you defensively. When he does that offensively, you're going to be really happy. Speaking of people doing things offensively, you're going to be really happy about Jordan Gainey. And Landon, where did all of his points come from Tuesday night?
The elbow.
I think he's still got to shoot.
Elbows.
When I look at Jordan Gainey, I say he shot the ball 3 times from behind the arc, and okay, he was over 3. He's got to shoot them.
Yeah, sure.
Now, one of them, I didn't like what he did at the top of the key, and then had to pull up a late 3-pointer. Don't love that one specifically, but he's got to shoot him. He's a shooter. But man, his dribble drive is really, really good right now. He can draw fouls. He can score from 15 feet. He's got to be willing to move and go. He can't just want to catch and shoot.
Yeah, he is at his best when he's inside the arc. And I don't think he's a bad shooter. But he's
one of your better ones that you need him to shoot.
Yes, yeah. But that's his best game. That has been the most improved thing about him is his ability to get to the rim or at least just find his shot at that elbow. That is – they talked about it on the broadcast 800 times about how they saw him before practice working with his dad on that exact shot. Keep doing that.
Yeah. Doing the Michael Jordan drill. Beat Mike.
Yeah. Another offense. Leading scorer, Chaz Lanier. We talked about rinsing.
Another quiet 23.
He just rinsed everything, and he was back to himself.
2 for 3 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's a tough game to kind of come back from.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of like a quarterback that they talked about on NCAA. You got to have a short memory. It seemed like Chaz doesn't remember what happened in Nashville on Saturday, which is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah, I'm glad he did.
Yep.
And that having a short memory is kind of the name of the game in SEC basketball right now. You have that loss to Vanderbilt, obviously that stings. You get the chance to play a top 15 team in Mississippi State at home. You got to go. That's a win you really, really need after that loss. Big to pick up, but you have to have a short memory again. You have to move on to the number 1 team in the country. On the road, late tip, former coach, very athletic team. Tennessee struggled with suffocating defenses. You don't even have to know much about a Bruce Pearl coach team, but know this. They are going to do their best to suffocate you defensively. So this is going to be a challenge for Tennessee on Saturday night. It is going to require a Jordan Gainey that is willing to drive and take not necessarily the best shot, but the best available shot. It's going to require Jemai Mashak to be willing to shoot, not hesitate. It's going to require Chaz Lanier to hit some shots. It's going to require everyone's best basketball game. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, and that's a really good win at Georgia, who has beat a lot of ranked opponents inside that arena so far this year, and Kentucky, and they beat somebody else. I think Oklahoma is another team that they beat. For Auburn to go in there and without their best player and win, I mean, that says kind of how good they are. And not being at their best. That's something that Tennessee needs to do. It's like these road games are so hard, and I get it, but like you have to find a way to survive those. Mm-hmm. And good teams are doing that, so Tennessee needs to find a way to do that. I mean, this is going to be a tough matchup for Tennessee. You mentioned they're athletic. I mean, they have a freshman that scored 24 points the other night against Georgia. They have Chad Baker Mazzara. Is that how you say it?
That sounds right.
Chad Baker Mazzara. I mean, that it sounds like a, no offense, Joey, it sounds like a frat guy with like a hyphenated last name. You don't see that a lot, but yeah, he averages 13. I mean, they have a lot of like the kind of slashers, so it's going to be paramount for Tennessee to really rebound the basketball, play good defense, and make shots that, I mean, you're going to have to shoot out. You're going to have to make some tough shots in this one to win.
For sure. And this isn't, we talk about how this is going to be a challenging game. It's not an unbeatable Auburn team. It is a battle-tested Auburn team. They played some tough opponents in the non-conference slates. They've also, I mean, in SEC play, they've still not played perfect basketball. They've had their fair share of struggles. A narrow escape of Georgia, a narrow escape of South Carolina. They played the same Texas team close on the road. While it is a very, very tough and talented Auburn team, we talk about how well Tennessee has to play, and I think they do have to play well. It isn't a game that you're like, play your best game and you're going to have a shot. Like this is a play your game and you'll have a shot. And I mean, it's going to require Tennessee to respond to that tough defense. And I haven't watched enough Auburn to know exactly what this team looks like for 40 minutes, but knowing Bruce Pearl, they're going to do what Tennessee will probably try to do. They're going to pressure you off the inbounds and they're going to make you bring it 90 feet for most of the game, if not the whole game. Tennessee's going to try to do much of the same. So, I mean, this is probably going to be a game where whoever can slow it down the most effectively will finish on top, unless the other team's just hitting at an ungodly pace.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to pressure you on both sides of the court. They're going to try to get to the rim, but they're also like, when they get to the rim, they score a lot. They get to the free throw line. So that causes other teams to kind of pressure the basketball, and that's where they kind of get their steals and get out in transition. Yeah. They had 9 steals the other night against Georgia. So, yeah, really good basketball team. Really tough place to go into and win. But, I mean, this is a Tennessee team. Like, if they want to show like they belong, this is a game where you have to play well. You can't just go in there and get blown out. We'll see if Janai Broom goes. I think
Yeah, what's his status kind of been? I know he's been
Bruce
off and on.
Pearl says there is a possibility he
I
plays.
wonder what that. Bruce is a liar. I don't trust him.
Yeah.
I will say though, I want to make this comment.
Just a barbecue.
Yeah, just talk about Bruce a little bit. Landon, the two best teams in the last 5 years in the SEC are probably Auburn and Tennessee. I haven't looked at the records, but probably the two best teams.
I would say, yeah. Alabama's probably up there a little bit.
Glad you brought up Alabama. Throw in the third. Nate Oates gets the start from Danny White. The road to the SEC championship in basketball runs through Knoxville.
Ooh.
And it starts Saturday night in Auburn, interestingly enough. But you got Bruce Pearl, former Tennessee coach. Loves Knoxville. Of course, you have one of the best teams in the
East
SEC,
for free.
being from Knoxville. And then Nate Oates owes Danny White his life. So, yeah, runs through Knoxville.
Does Danny White have any more eligibility left? Because if we have any more injuries, I feel like he might have to fill in at some point.
I bet he can. I bet he hoops at the Y every Monday morning.
You think so?
Yeah, I bet he's in shape enough.
He's at the T-Rack. You see him over there, Joey?
Hell no. I'm barely over there.
I was about to ask, are you hooping at the T-Rack?
They don't want me over there, dude. It's not fair.
Joey, when's the last time you hooped?
It's been a while.
Been a while?
I'm always ready, though.
We need to get,
Are
we need
you
to
a
get
hooper?
basketball going.
Dude, you should see my jump shots. Nasty work. I'll pull it up for you. I'll show you later.
Yeah, you got a huddle film of you hooping?
Bro, I've got a photo album. You kidding?
Oh, gosh. I need to see that.
All right, we're going to go try to find Joey's jump shot out here. Y'all stick with us on the other side of the break. It's More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. Welcome back into More Important Issues on Fan Run Radio. We are here to take you higher and higher. Let's go there. All right. Real quick update. 45-40. Texas is up over Tennessee at half. I don't know if they've gotten the baby news yet. Somebody, maybe, what if they waited? They're going to give it to them like at the end of the third quarter.
Ooh.
You got to keep it close for 3 quarters, though, if you're going to do that. It's a risky move, but I like the thought.
But the 4's up.
All right, Landon, I know you got – I don't know what the bad news would be, but I know you've got bad news somehow from the transfer portal, so just tell me.
I don't have any bad news.
Okay.
This is going to be good news.
I didn't want to be too excited because I was worried you were going to bring me down with something.
No, Tennessee's getting a visit from a offensive lineman. So getting the beef from Notre Dame redshirt freshman this past season, Sam Pendleton, 6'4", 310, was part of that really good offensive line. Started 7 games for the Irish. I think played 37 snaps in that Indiana game. Was kind of a shock that he earned the starting job, and I think lost it after the Georgia Tech game. But played some special teams, and this is a guy Tennessee was after. I think he visited in 2022. And so Tennessee was after him out of high school. He's from I don't know how you even say that, PFAFF town in North Carolina. Is that
Fafftown?
Fafftown?
I guess so.
That sounds crazy, but okay. That's where he's from. Yeah, from that area, and elected to go to Notre Dame, and kind of surprised, redshirted his freshman year, and then this year won that starting job to open the season. Eventually did lose it, but that was kind of a stacked. I mean, that was one of the best offensive lines in the country in Notre Dame. So getting a guy like that, I think is just going to add competition. Is he going to come in and be the answer we're all looking for? I don't know. But if you see the guy's face mask, you're all in. Have y'all seen it?
No, but
oh yeah,
being an offensive lineman, I'm guessing
it's got so many bars. It's
yeah,
awesome.
it's the like the cage.
Yeah,
is it the?
He's got a crossbar.
I think it's a 3x2.
Ooh, let me see it.
I'll get that for you.
Are these your photos?
No, this is.
I was about to say, holy cow, dude.
Oh, photos are worse.
Well, not if you're looking for a picture that you probably saved 2 days ago. You all should see. Okay, it's not your photos. I thought that was. Oh yeah, that's sick.
You're in.
It's a Rudy face mask right there.
Yeah, you're in.
Rudy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. To be fair, I'm pretty much just all in on people who are at Tennessee. So if he's at Tennessee, I promise I'll be all in.
Yeah, I'm loving. I mean, that just says hard working.
Yeah,
right there.
that's a blue collar face mask.
Yeah, absolutely. And has 3 years of eligibility. We've kind of mentioned on the show, this staff just seems, when they go in the portal, like they want guys with multiple years of eligibility.
Right.
And I think, especially with this offense of how complicated it is, whether we love that or not, I think it does kind of take an adjustment point. So getting a guy with multiple years of eligibility, it kind of helps if he doesn't get it, as soon as he gets here, there is time to pick up that offense. So, yeah, he's a guy that's going to come in and probably compete, has, some – Notre Dame's not in a conference, but I guess if you want – he has, I guess, group or Power 4 experience because they play an ACC schedule. So, and he did open the season against Texas A&M, so has played against an SEC team.
There, sign him up.
Yep.
Sign him up.
So, yeah, loving this. He visited starting today, but he had a no-contact tag, so it just kind of makes sense that Tennessee is probably the landing spot. Got some predictions today.
Hey, but take the visits. Take the visits. You have to take the visits.
Yeah, I guess. I think he's just going to take one, and he's – because, now, you don't have a lot of time. You kind of have to start school at some point. I know, that's not the end-all, be-all.
Not, but yeah.
Yeah, that's not the end-all, be-all, I don't guess, but I don't think you just want to, wait this out forever either.
Yeah, I mean, they do have until a certain date. I mean, it's not the day classes start.
Right.
I can't remember what that date is.
But then you're just fighting to catch up, and I don't know. I think at this point you probably want to. If you have a no contact, I don't think you're taking very many visits. I think you kind of already know.
Right.
Yeah, started at left and right guard for the Irish, and I think that's good. He finished it out. He didn't play in that national championship game. I think he did on special teams. He didn't actually start for the offensive line, but did finish out the season. So I think that probably says a lot to me.
Sure.
Didn't just, I got benched, I'm going to enter the portal, I'm good, I'm done. Wanted to see seems like he wanted to see his team, see it through, and I think they're returning a lot. They're also losing quite a bit. I think they're losing their starting center and a couple more offensive linemen, but I think the guys who was starting over him are returning, so, just kind of open the door for Tennessee to land him. So, yeah, just add some competition to that offensive line and another body in there, a quality body, and see what happens.
Sure. Anything else for Vols transfer targets or anything? Not Vols transfer related. I've got another one we'll get to in a minute, but
yeah, not really football wise. That just seems like the only one that's kind of coming
news
about
right now.
Yeah, we'll see if
any real news right now.
a corner or a wide receiver come available and see if Tennessee wants to kick the tires a little bit, and because I definitely think there's a need, especially at corner. I just don't really know who you have besides McMurray and Ricky Gibson and Caleb Beasley. There's not a whole lot at that corner spot. So besides those incoming freshmen, Braden Rouse, he is a 4-star 2026 linebacker. Did get a prediction in Tennessee.
Fong bomb?
I think it was. Well, I don't know.
I'm not in unless it's a Fong bomb.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it seems like William Inge has done a great job recruiting so far. I've been really satisfied with the way he's recruited the past cycle and this cycle. It seems like as well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so far it looks like a positive ad.
Yeah.
So positive addition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to get to some other trend. I did see a tweet. I was scrolling to see some nightly updates as we get farther into the show. I've got a tweet I want to read for you all, and I want you all to guess who the sender of said tweet was. Okay. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. No lie. Posted the link to the birth of Kim Caldwell's first son while my own 3-year-old was screaming, "I'm not going night-night. I'm going to pee on you. I'm going to pee on your face. Good luck, Kim. Welcome to heaven and hell." Who tweeted that? Did you see it already? No. Okay. Who tweeted
But
that?
I know exactly who it is. His name starts, his first name's Wes.
Saw that one going.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it what? I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Landon did this earlier in the show. He tried to make it about more than just Kim. Tried to make it about, this is Kim's day.
Okay, don't compare me to that. That's
No. I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying you encouraged it.
You kind of compared me. You were teatering the line a little bit.
That's not a comparison.
What do you think, Joey? Was he comparing me to him?
Teetering.
I'm about to start tottering if you don't. No, I'm just saying that there's a little bit of, it felt like you were in the similar direction of passing off credit, and so he had to come in and remind everyone that he has also had a child.
I did not predict or demand somebody get peed on.
Gosh. Also, that's a funny story to tell. Kids are hilarious. I don't know why he had to include that with Kim Caldwell having a baby. You could have just tweeted that alone.
Well, I'm glad he didn't bring up the Pat Summit. Oh my God.
What tweet was that? I can't remember the actual. What did it say?
Something about one thing I forget about Pat Summit.
Oh,
is
that
she
had
had
a
5 miscarriages.
Yeah.
There's no way his baby actually says he's going to pee on his face, right?
You never know with a 3-year-old. You never know.
Can you read it again?
I'm about to find it. Yeah, I sent it to somebody so I can find it real quick. You really want me to read it again?
No, no, please don't.
Okay.
He said no lie. Has to be truthful.
He did say no lie. He started the tweet with no lie. And then put a colon, not even a semicolon, a colon.
Yeah. No, I mean
That's business.
no emojis, no nothing. Straight R. Kelly.
Yeah, that was a wild one. Hold on a second. I can probably make the birth of Kim Caldwell's son about me. Hold on. Hold.
You're a boy.
Congrats, Kim Caldwell. One of the greatest gifts on earth. As a boy, I know what it was like to have a son. As a son myself.
Right.
As an excellent son, I might add. Myself. Yeah. Okay. That was a wild ride to read. I'm not even surprised by what the kid may or may not have said, because you're probably right, Joey. Like, half the things parents say that aren't that they say their kids say probably weren't said. But I've heard children say absolute wild things,
Yeah.
so it's possible.
I mean, if you just read the quote, you're like, okay, that's about Diddy.
Gosh. Wait, was Diddy peeing on people too?
I mean, probably.
It's entirely plausible. The Diddy news has calmed down since it's almost like there's someone up top quieting everybody.
Oh my God.
Deep state.
Do we need to farther investigate?
I will avoid investigating that one. I'll stay out of that one. Because I like my life.
What are some things that we have said you were going to investigate over the years? I feel like
Danny White being Richard G. West.
have we heard from Richard G. West in a while?
I really try to connect the dots there.
It's got to be hard.
Yeah, Danny White's done a good job. I mean, I think we basically confirmed last week that the wrong Byron Young was drafted. I mean, that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we investigated that live
Well,
on
then
the show.
Barstool had no clue who Byron Young was either.
Right.
So just killing it.
Which is kind of, I mean, not that he's like a premier player by any means, but like he's a recognizable name and face
Sure.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's kind of surprising. I bet that's on the first page of Google if you look up Byron Young, Tennessee. Because of the number. He's probably on some like newspaper or something. Let's see.
I mean, the first one is him in a black uniform.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who was it again?
Jimmy Holiday.
It was Jimmy Holiday.
Yeah.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't know where they got that photo. I thought it would be like at least in the first like 6 or 7 pictures.
Yeah. Not even close.
Huh.
I mean, you couldn't have just like got one. If you really didn't
I
know,
did-
you could have just got a guy that just looked like he was playing defense.
I did forget too, which is again crazy that no one can find who he is, which I guess technically the name is Byron Young, but he has his initials branded. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
What if the other Byron Young also had? If I was the other Byron Young, I would do it out of like spite.
Yeah, just lean into it.
Yeah.
Just every feature has to be like Byron Young.
It may have gotten him a higher payday.
Yeah.
You never know.
Somebody did come out and say like that was the oddest pick I've ever seen because I had an undrafted grade on that Byron Young.
Which was weird because I mean, I don't know who that guy is. I don't know if he normally grades them well. Like I don't know who that. I saw the same video, but I feel like most of them had him. They just had him flip flopped. Because what did he go the 5th round?
Third.
Where did the first Byron go?
I think it was pick 73 and 77 or
Yeah,
70
like
and
it was like a couple
75.
picks after.
Oh, okay.
And the other
Well, I think
Byron Young
so. I
got
think
picked.
some of them had him in like the 3rd, and some of them had him in the 5th.
Yeah, some franchise was just like, or the Rams were like, "What an idiot! We got the real one."
Like I think most drafts, if I'm remembering correctly, both from reading articles and then had Tennessee Byron Young in the 3rd, Alabama Byron Young in the 5th. Like I don't think a lot of people had him undrafted.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't care. I don't know why I'm pretending I care. Well, all right. So more transfer news. I would say some of the wildest transfer news.
I mean, this is the dumbest.
Cam Carr.
This is the dumbest decision
Baylor
I've
Bear?
ever seen.
I love how there's like the ambiguity of like, I'm going to enroll at Baylor and hope to play basketball.
It's like, dude, you could have been on a top 5 basketball team and just, but you'd rather walk on?
Here's what I want. Well, I mean, he has to.
I understand that, but like,
But I
you
got
kind of knew that before you did what you did.
right. But like that's I'm sorry. Is it still Jim Mata at UConn? Where is he at talking about tampering? Is he gonna snitch on Baylor? You're telling me someone at Baylor wasn't like, hey, you'll have to walk on, but you can come right now.
Yeah.
You're telling me he just randomly decided to go to Baylor? Or I guess, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are since, I mean, I guess it looks like he just quit basketball altogether since there's no transfer. I don't know. I don't understand it at all.
Is that the new like loophole?
Maybe.
Just picking a school for
yeah.
academics and then walking on the team. Just
I
open
guess.
tryouts the week that they happen to get on campus.
When it's like, you weren't happy. I guess you weren't happy with the situation you were in, so you just decided to not play basketball. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I'm not playing enough, so I just don't want to play at all.
I guess.
I mean, and from what I understand, it kind of threw everybody for a loop. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know the whole situation. But if I'm giving advice to players, just think about it a little bit before you just do something crazy. You don't have to listen to everybody in your circle all the time. And it's okay. Like, if you're feeling some type of way, if you should have a good enough relationship with somebody on that staff that can kind of maybe talk you through what the heck is going on or happening or I don't know. I would just like, hey, just know the repercussions from the decision you're about to make. Because this seems like an all-time dumb decision by a kid.
Right.
And I hope he bounces back for it, but, I mean...
Yeah, good luck, I guess. I don't really care. I don't know why you did it. Don't think it's a great move. Maybe it is a good move. We'll find out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of potential. And, you know, I guess that's just the world we live in. Like, we're just not going to...
Yeah.
Like, guys aren't going to sit anymore. So, I don't know. I don't really understand what we've seen this a little bit. Like, what is the point? If you're not getting a guy that can come in and contribute immediately, what's the point in even recruiting them?
Right.
Because they're not going to stay. And, I mean, you could get somebody just as good the next year out of the portal from a lower school.
Probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
So, I don't know. It's kind of the same thing with, like, I guess players in football. I think it's more so in basketball, but, I mean, players in football, like, there's no, like, freshmen sitting. Like, 5-star freshmen aren't really sitting anymore.
Right.
Like, you either play them or...
They gone.
Yeah.
Which, whatever. To each their own. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. It's just different. That's
Take care
not
of
the way it
yourself.
used to be.
No. All right. Anything else for the old transfer portal? Good, bad, great?
No, that's all I got right now. I mean, Tennessee is recruiting. They had some junior days, and, you know, they just continue to kind of impress me on I don't think they have, besides Rodney Garner, I don't know if they have just like an all-star recruiters, but they seem to do a really good job of selling the culture and the program and kind of the vision. Also, it helps that Tennessee was in the college football playoff no matter what happened. But you can also kind of spin it like, hey, I mean, the team who won it all, we lost to them.
Right.
And was just as competitive as basically everybody else.
Yeah. For sure.
So.
For sure. We're going to get to the, speaking of college football, way too early, top 25. I do want to, since we don't have the most important, I just want to ask, did you all see Nebraska's fan challenge? I think it was for
a putt? It was for like
a Benz.
For a Porsche or something.
Yeah, Porsche, yeah.
Even crazy.
Yeah.
Joey knows how to say it correctly, and I hate that. Because we're dumb. Because it's Porsche, right? Not Porsche.
Yeah. In the car community, if you say Porsche, it's like a
faux pas.
Right.
Oh, were you in the car community?
No, my dad is.
Oh.
Actually, no, he's not either. I don't know why. Like, that was a lie, totally. But not even a lie. Just like, I guess it's like an old person thing. It's like, oh, it's not Porsche. It's not Porsche. It's Porsche.
I can't believe you're just out here spitting lies and admitting it. You got to take it
You never
over
know
to
in
the
life.
grave.
But yeah, I mean, that's also, I feel like that happens. That seems like as someone who plays quite a bit of golf, that seems like a really tough putt. And I don't know what the miss to make ratio is, but I feel like I see at least one a year, which seems wild to me. One a year? A 90-foot putt on hardwood?
For some reason, I
don't think it's an impossible shot.
I can
like,
make it.
You only get one. It's not like you get
right.
two
Right.
tries.
Then no, that's fair. What do you think?
You're not
What
practicing
kind
that
of putter
90-foot
are
putt.
you using?
That's another thing. What putter is it?
I'm sure they give you like a very basic
Probably an
Titleist or Odyssey or
yeah,
some sort of.
some cheap Odyssey.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be like a mini golf putter, but it's also.
Right.
I mean, I will say.
There's nothing wrong with Odyssey. You just get them everywhere.
I guarantee you give me 50 balls on making one of them.
You
give me 20 balls
What
on
do you
actually,
have?
20 balls on making
I have
one
an
of them.
Odyssey.
Oh, do you?
I don't remember what brand or
What do you
what?
have?
I've got the. It's an Odyssey. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah,
what
I
the,
can't remember. There's
Oh, it's
there's
a
so
Spider
many.
X. It's a Spider X.
It's
okay.
TaylorMade, isn't it? Spider X.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
You said Odyssey. Am I crazy? Am I losing it?
Wait, what? For my
Odyssey's
Spider X.
Callaway. Spider X is TaylorMade. No?
Right.
Okay.
You said
That-
Odyssey.
For my putter.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's okay. I just
I mean, Joey is just
but
lying.
you said Odyssey, right?
I said Odyssey.
Do you have the White Hot?
I
Maybe I got it mixed
I
up.
truthfully
I used to have the
Don't know what it
Odyssey White Hot, the flat.
I don't believe you.
You had the blade. You had the blade.
Now I'm just lost.
You had the blade.
The blade,
white hot?
yes.
I had a blade white hot at one point. I loved it. It just got bent, and I couldn't bend it back. So, and like very slightly.
How'd you bend it?
So it's like at the neck of it. You know how it has that little natural bend in it.
Right.
It just got bent. It might have been like leaning on it or in the bag in the car. Like it's very small bend, but something you've noticed and probably doesn't. I'm a bad putter anyways. Probably doesn't help it to be bent. I don't know.
It's a great excuse though.
Good point.
Bent
I
putter.
should probably use that. Okay, so way too early top 25, and
One
my
thing.
most important one, impressive to Joey. So
Yeah.
No, shout out the guy, especially for a Porsche. I'm not making that.
yeah, that's a lot of heat.
I kind of had a stupidity that I just want to go ahead and read since we were kind of just going through some things there with Nebraska. Nolan Smith, the Eagles linebacker, somebody said, he had a really good game this past weekend. And he said, I'm supposed to be on the port anchoring down boats and latches. I guess he was saying he's been doubted. He was the number one player in the country out of high school.
Are you sure that's not like a football reference? Maybe.
I don't know. Everybody else took it as like
the typical Georgia or somebody they count us out.
yeah.
Ohio
I
State
guess
said
this
that,
is a
but,
Kirby Smart move for Nolan Smith to just be like, yeah, man, that people have always doubted me. I mean, they said we're going to win 4 games at Georgia. They said I was supposed to be on the port. I don't even really know.
Where's he from originally? Is he from a harbor town?
I don't know. Let's look at.
So is his family a long lineage of portsmen, and he was just due to keep the family lineage going? Was it a metaphor? It's a bad metaphor.
So how long was he? So he's the number one player in the country
Yeah, out of high school. Yeah.
for how long? When it wrapped up?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
like
if you're
in that recruiting cycle, like Nico was.
Right.
Nolan Smith was the number one player in the.
Also, if you're number
He's
one
from
at any
Savannah,
point,
Georgia.
okay, there's some big lakes and some port entries there, some waterways at least.
Yeah. He also went to IMG Academy. I mean, are we really thinking this guy was doubted?
No, if you're number one at any point, you can't use the doubted flip.
No.
I
mean, you were projected out of high school to be the number one player. Like, they do 32, like, for, like, projecting first-round draft picks. And he was going to be selected number one, and I don't know. I just thought that was extremely dumb. But he did go to Georgia, so it does make sense.
So what was his exact quote? Read it again? Or did you have the exact quote?
I'm supposed to be on the port, ... anchoring down boats and latches. It said the Savannah native shared gratitude for the position he's in following his 2-sack performance against Green Bay.
Can I be, I guess not devil's advocate, but maybe does he mention being doubted?
I feel like I'm with Caleb. When I first heard it, I didn't.
I think it could mean like I've achieved to get here. Everyone else in my town.
Yeah, it's like one of
is
those
doing
like
that.
kind of like a first to graduate college situation. Like
Okay.
I shouldn't be in this position.
Right.
Maybe again, I just
I that's why I asked for did he mention being doubted? Which I guess he could still be doubted, like people in his high school being like, you're not going to play in the NFL.
Which is
'cause
true.
Everyone comes back here eventually.
But he left his high school to go to IMG Academy. So.
That's a good point as well. He definitely had a path to leave the town, but some people always
he had
have it.
he had no business. Hey, when I
maybe it's not.
I'm asking because I don't know. I never saw any of this. I'm unfamiliar with it entirely.
Yeah.
when I graduate, I'm going to say that.
Yeah,
No,
you should.
they told me I'd never do it. They always doubted me out.
What are you going to say? You should be doing what?
Here, I'll give you this. Joey, you can't do it. So now you can say you had haters and deniers.
And say I can't do it.
You can't do it.
You
won't
I
do
had
it.
haters.
Plural. I'm going to get your mom to just text you every morning until graduation. Just say you suck.
You're awful. You can't graduate.
Do you
Watch me.
think the morning after he lost the national championship game, do you think Riley Leonard's mom texted him, you suck?
Oh, you got to.
Yeah, you got to keep. You can't
That would
stop
that would be
now.
hilarious.
Maybe Sam Pendleton did too with that face mask. You suck.
Maybe.
Impossible. Impossible to know.
Is Riley Leonard back next year?
I think he has a year because I think they were talking about him transferring. No,
Oh God.
I think that was like a rumor that popped up on like Reddit or something. But,
Okay.
And
He's
I was-
20. He's 22.
or maybe it was if he would declare for the draft or not.
Yeah, he declared for. Well, he's. Because start talking about Steelers eyeing him. I don't. Hold on.
He was a senior, but 2021 he only had 62 attempts, so there could be a red shirt in there maybe.
So, does he get a COVID year?
He's out of.
okay,
he's
yeah.
out. He's done.
Yeah. Okay.
He's out of eligibility.
My favorite thing, because I kind of forgot we hadn't talked since the national championship game. The first drive, Notre Dame, a version of hard-nosed football you don't see very often. 30s, where your quarterback was your primary runner out of the wing tee.
Yeah. He ran the ball
Fun
9
football,
times.
9 times, and I don't know if it was Holly Rowe or what sideline reporter, but they cut to the sideline, and she was like, "Yeah, Riley Leonard's over here stumbling around, throwing up. He's gassed." I'm like, "No, he's concussed. You just gave the symptoms to a concussion. That's wild."
He's actually. He hasn't even graduated yet. He's supposed to go to the draft, but he doesn't have.
does
He
suck.
doesn't have all his credits. So how's that work?
Probably those
Gets
Notre
drafted
Dame-
and then still stays. You take a gap
He's
year
played
before you go to
two
the.
private schools. All his transfers.
Yeah, it was.
or all of
The
his
credits
probably
are
didn't transfer.
absolutely brutal.
Yeah, you have. If you go to Duke and Notre Dame, you got to be a doctor of some sort.
Can you
right?
stay in classes while being an NFL draftee?
Yeah,
Or do you just ditch college?
I think most just decide to ditch, but yeah, you can. There's some rule that
You can't, dude. If he's got like 9 hours left, do it at night or something.
Yeah, you can probably take a walking course in there somewhere.
Because also, like, he's not projected. I'm not. Again, wish you all the future
You're
success,
telling-
but
you're telling Riley Leonard you're going to need that.
I'd
degree,
hate for him to
brother.
like bust out of the league at 28 and then like.
I think
have to
he's
go into-
hireable anywhere in South Bend for sure. And then you have Notre Dame alum. I don't know if he needs it, Joey. I don't know if he needs to waste his time.
Yeah, all here for it.
What did y'all think about the national champ? Like, there just felt like there was. Is it just because it's on a Monday? It just seems like there was no
hype for
Well,
it.
and we talked about this on Tuesday, with Chase Thomas on, and then we talked about it. Was that last night? That was last night on Talking Vols. We did talk about that a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
I know I've talked about it some. I agree that, like, first off, I think the 12-team playoff iteration is good. I don't necessarily like Well, can you take it to 14? You can't really take it to 14.
Yeah.
You have to go to 16s.
They were talking about doing 14, though, because then you have...
How many?
It's 14 with 2 playing games, I guess, technically.
Okay.
But then you don't have to worry about awarding the... I mean, obviously, I don't.
Yeah. So 12, 14, I think even a 16 team at that point, you just have no buys, correct? So, like, I think you don't need to expand it beyond the amount of rounds you have right now. But you do need to fix the schedule because it does drag on.
Yeah,
the season lasts too long right now.
Well, especially like, dude, no one cares about the conference championships.
Right.
And there doesn't need to be a week, then or is it conference championships, then a week?
Conference championships, and then...
Yeah, then a week because of the Army and Navy game,
Yeah.
and then they do the first round. That needs to go. It just needs to, like, let's get on with it.
Yeah. And so I think a combination of it being on a Monday night, it needs to go to Saturday. And
why is it not?
You tell the NFL, or Friday night. Why is it not a Friday night?
Yeah, you could. I still think
if you can do it on Monday, you can do it on Friday.
Yeah,
I think.
No, I'm just wondering if you should.
If you're gonna go, we can't do it on Saturday because of the NFL. Then it should be on Friday. I mean, Saturday is your first choice, and I think you tell the NFL to kick rocks. I mean, compete.
Well, the NFL could do a 1:00 game,
correct,
and then you could do a 3:30 national championship.
I mean, I think on a Saturday you could do
or a night game.
I think on a Saturday, like a 4 p.m. national championship would be A-okay if they don't want to give up that 8 p.m. slot.
Yeah.
In fact, I think 4 p.m. would be better because I know I'm getting old and I might be like, I'm A-okay with that game wrapping up at 8 and not 11.
Yeah. Well, it's okay if it's 11 on a weekend, but on a
it's okay. But like when you're talking about like
ridiculous.
you want to sit down and watch the game,
yeah,
I would be fine with it ending at 11.
Yeah.
Or I mean, at 8.
Yeah.
Starting at 4 and ending at 8.
It just kind of
so
takes away
dumb.
from college football.
It does, and it's hard to it's hard to get super. And part of it is nobody outside of these fan bases really wanted to see either of these teams win.
Yeah.
So that adds to it. But I said like the week leading up, I was like, oh yeah, I mean it is the national championship this week. Then by like Saturday, I was like, all right, I'm excited for the college football national championship now. But I mean, that week should be being built up, and it's just not being built up right now.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was the scheduling. It's not great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what you do. There's just it does kind of drag. I don't want college football to be shorter per se, but I feel like it does kind of drag.
But you don't want it to be longer with buys in there.
Yeah. Yeah, like let's
3
go
weeks.
week to week and keep it rolling. Because I mean, all the people that had buys, like it didn't help them. None of them made it to the national championship.
Rusty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All but one lost. No,
None of them.
All of them
made
lost.
it.
Yeah,
I was thinking Penn State had the bye for a second, but no, they all lost.
yeah,
None of them made it to the semis.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, again, I think the 12-team iteration, when you factor in how the whole season was, I think was a really, really good iteration. But I also think I talked about this with Chase. I guess your all's thoughts. I fear. I know I mentioned this last night, so we did talk about it. I fear the NCAA is going to go, or college football playoff is going to go, oh, y'all like 12 teams? You'll love 24.
There's no way.
I think in the near future, not necessarily next year, but I think in the next 5 to 8 years, yeah, I think it's possible. But I need them to understand, I think this is close. Maybe not the exact sweet spot, but I think it's close to the sweet spot where if you go too many more teams, you're watering down your product. Yeah. And I didn't have a problem with 4. I didn't necessarily have a problem with 2. I think it invited some problems some years, but I didn't have a problem with the way it's college football. It's going to be set up weird anyways. But right now, I just feel like the whole season mattered to a whole lot of teams, and it made November so much more fun.
Yeah.
For random teams. Like, it wasn't just the top of the SEC, top of the Big Ten, top of the ACC. Like, it was every week was bracketology.
Mm-hmm.
And every team, not every team, but a lot of teams had a real shot to get there if things played out the right way, if this one team lost. And it just made it more fun. I think they've hit a sweet spot. If you go too many more, I think it could be like, well, that game in November doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, they're in regardless, or
Right.
they got to buy regardless. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I don't think you need much more. I don't know why we're trying to go more. Like, why not try to fix what we have now and see if that is the sweet spot?
Right.
Like, let's fix the automatic
bids. And I'm all for,
Yeah.
I'm not all for it. I'm okay with 4 teams getting a bye. But I think those need to be what you view as the 4 best teams.
Yeah.
Are we always going to agree with it? No, but it won't be the number 11 team.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that you rank everybody and then you have to seed them based on, like, their conference championship.
Right.
That's dumb.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should get in if you win your conference, but you do not deserve a. If you don't deserve a bye, then yeah.
The only way I would be okay with conference automatic qualifiers, which just again would be the 4 best teams, is if every conference team, and you can't do it in conference expansion, which is again why I'm not a fan of conference expansion. If you played every single team in your conference and you took the regular season winner, and that would still come down to weird tiebreakers and stuff, but at the end of the day, everybody had a chance. Everybody played everybody.
Yeah.
I would be okay with a regular season conference winner getting that bye.
Yeah.
And in some situations, like, it still could be a 2-loss team is ranked ahead of a 1-loss, but they had to play through an entire conference schedule to get there, and it wasn't just a one game. They had to be a top 2 team and then win that one game. They didn't have to do that. This year it would have been Texas, right? At a SEC? Or no, Georgia got the tiebreaker. So it would have been Georgia. So it would have shaken out the same. I don't know why I'm even saying that. It would have been Oregon in the. It probably shook out exact. I mean, I'm all for in this iteration, giving a non-Power 4 team a bid. They should not be eligible for an automatic qualifier or auto bye.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be eligible for a bye week.
But Tennessee got screwed on because of
Really,
that.
because of Arizona State more than anything.
Yeah.
Because they were the lowest ranked one that got up, but I guess both of them really.
Well, Arizona State, that one didn't matter because they were the 12.
But they got the auto bye, which put them ahead of Tennessee, and it bumped Tennessee back.
Arizona State didn't get. Oh, they did get the bye. Yeah, they played Texas. You're right. Yeah.
Which moved everybody back a seed.
Yeah.
What, am I blanking? Did Boise finish?
Boise they had a bye.
What was their final ranking? Not their seeding.
Were they 3?
Not their seeding, their ranking.
Oh, their ranking, they were like.
They were behind Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm thinking of that correctly, I think.
Yep.
Okay. And I know you want to talk about way too early top 25, but what about the final AP poll? Did you care to look?
I know he came in 9th. Was Alabama ahead of us?
No.
Okay.
God, someone did. I hope I'm trying to remember all of the craziness that just like did not make sense in it. It was. I think it was a long Reddit post that had it.
Well, Arizona State and Boise State finished ahead of Tennessee. And that was just because they got the automatic bye and lost.
Which is, I could see Boise State.
I could see Arizona State being ahead because they actually played Texas to the wire.
Okay.
Boise State.
My only thing for them is that I guess they really don't have a ton. I mean,
you lost to Drew Aller. You don't deserve it.
Fair rebuttal. I think they were more competitive than people give them credit for. I think that Penn State game would have been a lot better if they don't commit dumb penalties too.
Yeah.
Which I guess you could argue makes them not a good team. I don't know. Where is this one at? I gotta find it because it was a good Reddit post that just had them all like, here are the ones that don't make sense. Why are they the way they are? I thought it got shared on Twitter, and that was my biggest hope to find it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't see anything. I'm looking at it right now. I just don't see anything that just pops out to me. I don't know. But wait.
I mean, like, why is... So you have Texas obviously got 2 wins in the playoff. But the way you got to look at it is neither of those teams would have beat Notre Dame. Georgia also is missing a quarterback. Like, why is Texas ranked ahead of Georgia, a team they lost to twice?
Yeah.
I'm trying to run through these in my head of how would they all make sense. I mean, that, like, okay, Clemson's at 14. I was going to say they're ranked ahead of SMU. That's interesting that they... Why did they drop SMU behind Ole Miss?
I guess because Ole Miss won their bowl game and SMU lost that game. I don't know.
I guess, but...
I mean, I guess you're kind of splitting hairs there.
Wouldn't you argue SMU's game was tougher?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I need to find the post. We need to talk about it on...
Way too early, top 25. Tennessee comes in at 19. Thoughts?
Whatever. I mean, none of them are going to make... I looked at, like, South Carolina. The only thing I can make sense of South Carolina is they have one of the best edge rushers and a young quarterback that a lot of people are high on. Like, that's the only way I can make sense of their high of a ranking. Tennessee loses the SEC Player of the Year. They lose... I don't know where he's at.
Why are people so high on Lenore Sellers?
I mean, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's young and he shows a ton of flash. I get being excited about him. I don't understand all of the hype around him.
Yeah.
Maybe that's maybe I know I'm at, not all of that's a hot take. Maybe part of that's a hot take, but
yeah, I don't. I mean, he looked horrible in that bowl game, so I don't know. I think Iowa State is an interesting one. I don't really know anything about Iowa State, so but them being at 11, yeah, Tennessee at 19. I mean, I know Tennessee lost a lot, and so it kind of makes sense when you look at what Tennessee lost. But how do you look at that and be like, oh, yeah, Florida 18 for sure?
That, again, I think has just got to be a young quarterback that a lot of people are excited for, right? That's the only sense I can make of that.
Well, I mean, but they gave South Carolina Lenore Sellers, people were high on him. If he improves, they should be really good. Could the same thing not be mentioned about Nico?
I think it could. I think they're weighing and I don't agree with it. I think you have to just be seeing, oh, they lose the SEC Player of the Year, and like that's it.
Yeah.
And you lose first round draft pick top. What's he being rated at right now?
I mean, yeah, probably top 15.
I was gonna say top 15.
Yeah, they're probably looking at Score White, Brew McCoy, Dante Thornton. Like that's. I think they're kind of like just looking at just the top of what Tennessee lost and not really looking at like the whole picture of, what Tennessee could have.
Right.
And when you look at a top 20, way too early top 25, don't you look at it of what they could have? I don't know.
I don't know. You kind of lost me there.
Because, I mean, you're doing the same thing with South Carolina. You're saying, like, oh, they could be a top 10 team with Lenora Sellers. I mean, we just forget. I mean, I know Nico didn't have probably the season everybody wanted him to, but at the end of the day, he won football games and got us to the college football playoffs. So.
I do think Nico helped win Tennessee games. I think there is a different thought process with South Carolina won a lot of football games because of Lenora Sellers, and I think Tennessee was more well-rounded than them, and so it wasn't seen as like it was seen as a Dylan Sampson job, not a Nico job, which I think was fair as well. I think it's overlooked how much Nico allowed you to win football games, whereas South Carolina is seen as if they don't have Lenora Sellers, they don't win those. I
thought they lean more on their defense, though.
I agree. I don't necessarily see it that way.
Like, I don't see much of a difference between Tennessee and South Carolina.
I think that split is pretty wild. Like, I was shocked to see how high South Carolina was combined with how low Tennessee was. That shocked me.
And also, I mean, we want to talk about, like, quarterbacks. What the heck does Alabama have next year?
They don't want to talk about it.
I mean, are they going to play the 5-star and Keelan Russell? Or are they going to play Ty Simpson?
I feel like there's been a lot of...
Or the Austin Mack.
I feel like there's been a lot of love for, like, Ty Simpson from Bama fans, which is kind of interesting because what is...
I mean, they hated Jalen Milroe at times, but
Right.
didn't really want to make the switch to Ty Simpson.
Which is fairly understandable.
And can we stop putting LSU so high? I mean, we've obviously seen Brian Kelly can't win with really good players, so it doesn't matter who he has.
The LSU put out the tweet of the guys up for Offense Player of the Year, and I was like, probably didn't want to tweet that. Just a stark reminder of how bad Brian Kelly is.
Mm-hmm.
Combine that with his former team is now playing in a national championship while y'all sit at home.
Yeah, Brian Kelly
With
might
probably
be the
more
most
blue chips.
fraudulent coach in America.
And a murderer.
And a murderer.
Hard to find that deadly combination.
Yeah.
I do think South Carolina's is a mix of you have a big name with Dylan Stewart, though, and Lenore Sellers.
It is funny they put Georgia at number 6 in the AP poll, and they have them way too early top 25 as number 5. And, I mean, they lose like their whole defense.
They're going to be an interesting team to see.
Yeah.
For sure. How about Oregon? And not to get too far away from the way too early, they finished 3 in the preseason and 3 in the final.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also like, I think the coaches poll got that right. If I'm taking teams who looked better on the back end, Texas. No?
I mean, I think so. They're a team where I don't see how you think they're better next year either.
Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's happening are they going to send Quinn Ewers packing?
I mean, you got to.
Okay.
Oh, he declared for the NFL draft.
I missed all that drama.
Yeah, I think he's gone. So yeah, it's
Got robbed by his best friend.
Yeah, Arch Manning time, which
That's okay. Let me vent for the last 5 minutes of this show. I won't go for 5 minutes, but give me a few minutes to vent.
okay.
I like Kirk Herbstreit, and I know that's not a popular opinion, but I think he does a really good job. I enjoy listening to him on College Game Day, on different shows that he's on throughout the week. I like listening to games he calls. I think he does a really good job, majority of the time. ESPN producers not cutting his mic on Monday night while they watched Ohio State celebrate. And I get you're excited, like that's your team. His son was a part of it. That is an exciting moment for you. But I mean, he was treating the Ohio State team, he was treating Ryan Day like he had been a prisoner of war in Korea or something. He's like, man, I just know how much him and his family have been through. I know over and over, like just the challenges and how hard it was, and just for them to get there. And then I have to hear Ryan, and then Kirk was saying it too, Ryan Day, like, I can't wait to tell this team's story. I can't wait. Well, tell the story. Like, quick. You don't have to wait. You have a mic in front of you, you moron. And Kirk could have just, if he had just said, this year was really challenging for Ryan Day, all the outside noise from the fan base, this team stuck together. One time, said it, put it out there. Congratulations, this team. This is an awesome moment. I'm going to celebrate as an alum, as a former player. I'm going to go celebrate with my son. Awesome. No, we had to listen to a 7-minute just from Kirk. I mean, it was brutal. And I'm sure that's a challenging, navigating that situation as an unbiased party is probably not easy to remain unbiased. So I get it.
Yeah, we would.
But cut the mic.
We would definitely do it for Tennessee.
Yeah, but I'm also ESPN
I'm not
doesn't
making
have to
money
leave me
to-
on the mic.
Right.
Cut it. And I'm also not going to just act like Josh Heupel's a war hero.
He's not.
He might be. I'm a Kirk. This is coming from a fan of Kirk Herbstreit. I just think it. No one except for Ohio State fans want to listen to it. The problem is you also said a lot of statements in that it probably alienated Ohio State fans, acting like that his kids had gotten kidnapped by Ohio State fans for losing to Michigan. Like, he threw the fan base under the bus entirely, so they probably didn't like hearing it either. Actually, it just came off as just so. Ugh.
Well, yeah, I guess
You're right, Joey. I would be going nuts. And I'd be tarps off.
Exactly. That's the issue. So I'm trying to be like, okay, well,
But can we
not
stop
in a
feeling so
professional
bad
setting.
for Ryan Day?
Yes.
That's the most annoying part. Is
But
the guy was born on third base.
Also, if this job is so challenging, if like you're actually like teachers, talking shit to your kids at school, pull them out of school. If it's that bad, leave. No one is holding him against his will at Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, if he wants some kind of like story to tell, I mean, it would be really fun to see how Josh Heupel has taken Tennessee from where they were. It's a hell of a lot different from
I
where
love this spin zone.
where
You're right, Joey.
Ryan Day had when he took over a program.
Well, I mean, have you considered he had to fight Lou Holtz through
Yeah.
all this? I mean, that's a fight, a scrap you don't want to be in.
yeah.
Also, the issue is that it was never that Ryan Day can't produce like a good
You just can't win the big
team.
one.
It was he can't win against Michigan, and that hasn't
And
changed.
that's also
if
true.
they would have lost in
Doesn't that
in
kind of suck? Like, you win a national championship, but also like you also lost to your biggest rival. that
if
same
they would have
year.
lost to Notre Dame,
like, you have to
his
post.
job is still up in the air.
You kind of have to post the
all
like
the
schedule.
T-shirts, all the T-shirts are gonna have a Michigan loss on it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
We should make an Ohio State championship shirt and like in bold the Michigan score.
You know who would love that?
Yeah, we should make him one.
Yeah, we should.
Do what was it, 2014 that they won? Well, 2015 technically.
Yeah.
There's a pic-
2015 championship.
just add there's the Urban Meyer holding up the thing with like the zeros like the trophy and just make it a 1 and just put Michigan like jerseys on them.
So what is a bigger asterisk? Is it like winning a national championship and losing to your biggest rival, or winning during a COVID year?
What about winning whilst everyone knows you're stealing signs from the? Which one's worse? I think those are the two you compare.
Okay.
You have a literal asterisk because everyone knows you cheated, or you have an asterisk because not only did you lose to your team that year, your head coach still hasn't beaten your biggest rival in something titled The Game.
Yeah.
You guys put the label on, not us. Ohio State fans, it's the greatest rivalry in all sports. You can't win it.
Yeah.
I mean, how much would you weigh it if Tennessee won a natty but couldn't get past Florida in the swamp,
I talked
or
about
even
this.
Florida at home?
It almost like I hate Alabama. For me, it's Alabama. I hate Alabama so much. I would love that championship, but it would be real sour.
Yeah.
It would suck. Not suck. Suck's not the right word. But it would just be like a brutal, like every time you thought about that season, remembering that loss to Alabama at home would be tough.
I would definitely spin it as like, who cares?
No, and I think you,
yeah,
I think you
100%.
can when you win a national championship.
Yeah.
But man, like you get like that night.
You can't do the whole like schedule thing.
Right. Well, that night you get home and you're like,
If we only,
Yeah, like-
that's the greatest season in history.
Right.
I mean, they're calling it the greatest run in college
And it started
football
with a
history.
loss to unranked, god-awful Michigan.
Yeah.
I love it.
It does.
Print the shirts.
I mean, for us to be like one of those teams that was part of that greatest run.
No. We'll leave that off the shirt.
Yeah. It was a true road game. No one else had to do that.
No one else is meaning.
In that run that they had, no one else had to play a true road game against Ohio State.
Okay. Good point.
Spin
Spin
zone.
zone.
Yeah. Guys, thank y'all for listening. We're going to get out of here. Go Vols. Tennessee beats Auburn. You heard it here first on Saturday. And have a good weekend. We're bringing the boat in. And